Act 1, Scene 7. So basically, they're having some sort of feasty thing. Macbeth sneaks off and talks to himself out loud, just like all normal people do. I say as I'm doing that right now. In these cases, so he says, in these cases, we still have judgment here that we but teach bloody instructions which being taught return to plague the inventor. So the question for you is, critical question, whose instructions is he talking about? So we teach bloody instructions. So did they come from the witch, from the witches, the three witches, from Lady Macbeth, or from himself? So it says they return to plague the inventor. Is he talking about the witches, that they will have bad things come to them, or himself, or Lady Macbeth? Down the bottom, he says, I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition which overleaps itself and falls on the other. So the metaphor here is a horse that jumps over a fence and then stacks it on the other end. And have no spur to prick the sides of my intent. So kind of like he wants to do the thing, but he doesn't have someone to prick him along. So the metaphor, the double metaphor, extended metaphor even, is of a horse. A spur is like those sharp things you put on the end of your shoe and you hit a horse with. So he's saying he is the horse. He has no spurs to make him go faster to do what he should be doing, but only vaulting ambition, which is going to like stuff up and stumble on the other side. Then, of course, Lady Macbeth turns up and she's here to G him up and to get him ready to do the killing. You've got to remember that Macbeth is like known as a soldier. He's a killer that can cut people in half with his sword. He's good at that, and so she's going to try and tap into that and say that it's the same. When he's used to serving a king, now she wants him to kill a king, but she's trying to tap into the sort of masculine, the worst parts, the toxic parts of masculinity, perhaps, to get that to happen. So she says, was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? So you used to kill, now you're a bit of a coward, you're a bit green and pale when you have to do it in your own house and in your own castle, or in Duncan's castle. The setting doesn't really matter too much in this situation. You should be able to do it now. You should be able to kill. Come on, mate. And then, she goes on, there's heaps of juicy stuff that you could annotate. What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. So killing is what men do, and to be a man you have to kill. She says, I have given suck and know how tender it is to be the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, so had I so sworn as you have done to this. So this is pretty hard to side with Lady Macbeth on here. She's basically saying she would kill her own baby because she's tough. Not sure. But anyway, if you can still side with her after that, I'm impressed. Then she says, we fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place and we will not fail. So the sticking place, I think in Romeo and Juliet, they talk about pricking to the sticking place, and I think it's might be part of a woman. So screwing your courage to the sticking place, you're going to have to fill in the blanks there. Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. So bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. He's basically, for you to interpret what exactly he's saying, but he's such a strong man. There was a belief back then that if you were a strong man that you would produce only men, or something weird and chauvinistic like that. And also, I guess he's suggesting that she is now becoming a little bit more of a manly woman in some form or something. So the question is, the second question, I guess, is, can you side with Lady Macbeth anymore after what she said in this scene? Yes or no?